With us transitioning to Quant Tekel and being broker owned, we're able to implement a lot more compliance and almost regulation into the market in the way that we do things. A number of different aspects, and I think the trust aspect as one of them, the way we do things, the way we position ourselves, making the client feel a lot safer, the audits that take place, everything from start to finish.
So by bringing a degree of professionalism and consistency within the business structure, both in the products that we offer on prop and live market.
You guys took the hit potentially on a brand that had already built momentum in order to put the client first.
Ultimately, we've seen some of the success stories, people going from sort of $500 or pounds to, thousands of pounds.
Right, welcome everyone. Today I'm here with Alex and James, the founders of AscendX, now known as Quant Tekel. And today we're going to talk about the transition being a broker-owned entity, what that means for traders, and what the transition to the Quant Tekel brand is doing for our traders and the changes that have happened. Welcome, Alex and James.
How you doing, Ethan? You well?
Yeah, not too bad. You're not too bad yourselves. Looking super sharp.
It's nice to be on camera, although I'm looking forward to some internet hate about my soup, but that's nothing new.
Yeah,
Iggy's in Miami today, but no.
How can you hate on a suit like that?
We'll find out. I'm sure we'll find out.
But yeah, no, we're good. And again, look, thank you for obviously taking the time today, and we're looking forward to having a chat with you in regards to where we are now, I suppose.
Right, so, well, let's start with the big topic, the transition from AscendX to Quant Tekel. What kind of drove that change?
So we founded AscendX, I'm going to say early January, and in that time, we went through 5 separate migrations, which were all based on us having a grey label and taking grey labels from other brokers. And that's not a sustainable business model at all. We didn't feel comfortable with it because we were entirely reliant on third parties for the success of our business and the comfort, ease and security for our clients. So it was always on the cards for us. We discussed that from pretty much day one.
Yeah,
really.
Always. I mean, for us, it was as a natural progression. I mean, we could, when we come into this space, we could see an opportunity, and we sort of said this from the start. We didn't want to just be a prop firm, okay? And all right, look, we've done it a lot sooner than expected for a number of reasons, but at the same time, we're glad we did, and it was always part of the plan. For us, we could really see, regulation, compliance is obviously a big topic at the moment within this industry. And, we've done this for a number of factors. And I think that, now by, with us transitioning to Quant Tekel and being broker owned, we're able to implement a lot more compliance and almost regulation into the market in the way that we do things. And I think that also comes from, naturally with a number of different aspects. And I think, the trust aspect as one of them, the way we do things, the way we position ourselves, making the client feel a lot safer, the audits that take place, everything from start to finish. So, now we're in a different realm. And I mean, for us, it was always on the cards.
Okay, well, let's talk about the regulatory aspect about it that goes on with this whole behind-the-scenes change. Some might see the increased regulation as restrictive, but you're kind of positioning it as a positive thing, right?
100%.
Yeah, it depends on what you want as a trader, because with clients who are used to, say, buying challenges, buying 8 or 10 of them and just full porting every single one until they pass to make that one big payout and then go to another firm and another firm. That's not a sustainable business model either for the trader, because they'll get frustrated. We've seen people get banned from multiple firms, so on and so forth. And it's not sustainable for the actual firms in receipt of that as well. So by bringing a degree of professionalism and consistency within the business structure, both in the products that we offer on prop and live market, that leads to you as traders or clients of our company having a more sustainable outlook on both their trading and then how that can benefit them long term within pursuing trading as a profession.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people might see this kind of brand change as like something that potentially shakes some of their, I would say, confidence in a company if they change their name. They're used to the one name, right? And especially since you guys blew up so much.
Do you know what? I mean, Alex is laughing now. Sorry to cut over you. Alex is laughing because this was a funny topic, to be honest with you. I mean, I'll put it into context with you. I mean, look, for us, one of the main reasons, obviously, when we were looking at doing this is, we wanted to have MetaQuote's MT5 back again, right, for our traders. And I think, look, that's the gold standard from listening to traders. They want to trade MT5, and we want to be able to provide all of the top tier platforms to all of our clients. Okay, so naturally, we wanted to do that, but it wasn't just for that as well, which I must make clear, right? When we were doing this, we were on a timeline. We were trying to get things done as quickly as possible because we were trying to keep our traders happy. We had other prop firm owners, which, I don't know where they sort of get off on this from, trying to call us out and, this and that, and it would put a bit of pressure on. And to be honest with you, look, me and Alex just stuck to the course. We knew what we were doing. We had our goal, we had our plan, and we were going to execute it. And I think, without going off tangent here, there's a great saying, right, about sort of building, burning your bridges or burning your boats, right? And it comes from a famous quote. A certain person got stuck on a desert island with his army. Okay, and the only way of survival was burning the boats. They've got no way of retreating, right? So it was sink or swim survival, and that was for like the same with me and Alex. And we just done whatever we could to survive, and we knew we were going to survive, right? But one of the things was, I wanted to keep AscendX capital. We had AscendX markets planned for the brokerage. And this was something we were doing from the start. Due to time, which time wasn't on our side at the time, clients were, getting a bit itchy feet. We were, like, as I sort of mentioned, other prop firms sort of saying this and that and everything else. And we thought, right, okay, well, Alex was like, look, let's just launch with the name that we've got, which is Quant Tekel and blah, blah, blah. We were already in the process of changing it. And me, with my sort of marketing hat on, it wasn't something I really wanted to do. But to be honest with you, it's grown on both of us, and we like it, and we love the brand. We love what we've created so far, and it's only the beginning. And I think our clients have taken really well to it. But again, look, for us, it does feel like almost like a fresh start, in the sense of with the new brand, the new identity, and we can see it looking more premium, and that's what we're looking to achieve and where we're looking to go with it. So it's every cloud, I suppose you could say.
Yeah, I think it speaks a lot to kind of you guys putting the clients first, mainly because you guys took the hit potentially on a brand that had already built momentum in order to put the client first. And I think that that's really admirable, and it's important because you guys put the clients first so that they could get MT5 back sooner, which again, like, speaks to the way that you guys run the business as a whole.
You raise an interesting point there. Just thought of this whilst we're sat speaking. You both discussed about building a brand and that potentially having a knock-on effect on us. But for me, the one beautiful thing about this space and what has been achieved so far is that we've got a core group of traders that talk about us positively, even though they've been through 2, 3, 4, 5 migrations, some of them, even though they've seen us go against that adversity each time. So if we've managed to build that trust and reciprocity, if you like, with a group of over 1,000 people, even during those situations that weren't neither mine or James's fault, but we found a solution to it, I feel like that brand identity will get built far, far quicker now than it was at the start of the year, because there isn't that outside influence there that can create those stumbling blocks, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think touching on that, just what Alexis said, we were sort of having this conversation with someone earlier today, and we've built that up right now. And I think that where we've announced certain things at certain stages, and everything we said we were going to do, we've come true on it, right? We were sticking to our word. Whatever we've said, we've done. Yesterday we issued thousands of free accounts, right? Something we said we would do as a compensation, people that have sort of been migrated with us. When we first, went to Quant Tekel, our tech wasn't completely set up. Certain platforms haven't been integrated. There was a lot of, and that was one of the reasons why I wanted to take a bit more time and sort of come to market with our finished product. But again, we had to look at what was important, trying to keep traders happy. And there was talk within the market that this and that, which was all sort of false. But so we thought, okay, fine, but we'll release and we'll do it gradually. But I think it's, just like I said, touching on what Alex said, we have, everything we said, we've sort of come good on. So, I think the trust element, people are getting behind us as a company and as a brand, and I think understanding that.
And coming from an outsider perspective on this, I've honestly seen a consistent feedback of trust behind the brand. If you look at people's feedback online, just when you talk about established traders and their feedback, I struggle to find any negative feedback from them in general. There is none of these, red flags that you see from other props of payouts being denied or people having to jump through 3 flaming hoops to get a payout or record each trade that they do or something crazy like that. There's none of that, and that's what really impressed me the most about you guys. But not just that, like, you guys have made the switch to Quant Tekel now, not just out of necessity, but also as an improvement on what you guys are already doing, because there's now the broker element as well, which then creates this whole new dimension, this whole new avenue for you guys that then adds a whole new world onto the brand. What's your future vision for the Quant Tekel brand when it comes to all of these new additions and essentially a whole new feature, which is the broker element of Quant Tekel?
I mean, you touched on a couple of things there, and it's quite interesting. And I think one of the things which I've said before in many interviews is that with the prop space, it's always really interested me because I actually think it's a really, really good space. And I think that unfortunately, a lot of companies have abused that. Now, a lot of companies would have abused that because I also don't think that the space is very fair. That if you don't know, we can get a lot of traders coming into the space that then want to naturally progress and want to open their own prop firm, whatever it is, and some people haven't had experience in business, or you're going and getting the wrong, prices on tech or whatever it might be. Okay. And this can be a very, very, very expensive game if you don't know what you're doing. Okay. I think that's where we've had success. And I think, look, with some of the firms that haven't been around and that haven't quite made it, I don't think naturally they've set out to do that, right? To sort of be a bad apple. But I think that from not having the right guidance, help or understanding, or being in business with the wrong people or suppliers, I think has led them to that. And also maybe their rules where they don't know, they're not too sure. And I think that with us, it's very, very clear. When we looked at this industry, I think it's fantastic. I think it's a fantastic thing that you can go to someone wants to trade, okay? They don't have that much money, they're getting paid on a monthly basis. They want a new career. They want to take up something different. They enjoy trading, whatever it might be, okay? That sort of leads them to that. They can take up challenges with prop firms. And, ultimately we've seen some of the success stories, people going from sort of $500 or pounds to thousands of pounds. It's fantastic, right? But at the same time, there's this thing within the market at the moment within the prop space that other companies will try and bring other companies down. And I think that as a whole we need to come away from that, because I think that's where ultimately, unless the companies, the prop firms that are doing this are geared up correctly like how we've set out to, I think they're going to come unstuck when there's more regulation that comes into the market, because naturally it's going to happen. And I think it is a good thing, going back onto what we said, and it will just clean the space up. But ultimately I think the market's very, very good for us as a company and our plans. There's a lot in the pipeline, okay? I don't want to say too much on some of it because I'd rather, me and Alex are more on the point of we'd rather let our actions speak for us, if that makes sense. But at the same time, look, we've understood. I dropped a teaser yesterday just in regards to some things we've got coming out. We're opening another global office with support staff and other members of staff of the team that only speak within that particular language, okay, that we can become more accessible to that particular market, and this is something that we're looking to do. We've also got big plans for the brokerage. We've also got other plans. I don't know what you want to drop and sort of mention in there.
Well, there's 5 separate channels that we've got on our board that each could work as a standalone business that we will do as part of the QT brand. So the brokerage being one of them, prop being another one, the other 3 we won't go into now. But for us, we wanted to use this first year really to establish a level of credibility with what we do and how we do it within the prop. We've spent a lot of time working towards delegating effectively and training our heads of staff in certain areas. So the prop now doesn't require 18 hours a day, 7 days a week for either of us. Yeah. That allows us to then not take our foot off the gas, but instead look at it from a top-down point of view and then put that same level of energy into the broker and into the other 3 aspects. So in terms of what you can expect to see on our vision, there's one thing and one thing only, which is massive action on anything that we do. So that energy is now going to go into the brokerage side throughout 2026, with us still keeping our finger on the pulse with what's going on the prop, and making sure that that's being guided and ran effectively and appropriately. And that's not us stepping away, it's a natural part of growth of any business, because you traded with us back in April and I used to be sat in Discord answering questions in general chat back then. I can't do that and effectively help run or manage a company that has 45,000 clients. So it requires different skills now compared to back then.
Yeah, 100%. Well, Alex and James, thank you very much for chatting with me today.
No problem.
We learned a lot about what's going on with Quant Tekel, and I was super excited for the future. So thank you very much for chatting with me, gents.
No problem at all.
That's the team, mate.
Thank you so much. Cheers, Ethan.
Take care.
Bye. Bye. Bye.
Nice to see you guys.